Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video you'll see a showcase of my 3,000 point Space Wolves army. You may have seen my recent challenge where I did a 30-day challenge to build a 3,000 point Space Wolves army, and I got it finished all through most of January and part of February. And so it's been a little while since that finished. I thought it'd be cool to do a showcase and show you everything I've got for the army so far, some things I've added to it, and some plans I've got for it in the future. So let's get over to the table. I've laid it all out and we'll have a good look at every single unit and character that's in the army. Here we go, we've got all the models, all the books, some dice and some extra sets as well to go through, but here's the main chunk of the army. This is well over 3,000 points, close to 3,500, and that doesn't even include special weapons. I also built this during the challenge, the Fang, the home of the Space Wolves, and so all these models get stored in there when I'm not playing with them. Right, let's get into it. So we'll look at the dice first, go through the books real quick, but then spend loads of time looking at all the models and talking about each unit individually. So here's all the dice I've got for the army. I've got these red ones that I use for any wounds. Sometimes I'll use tokens, but I find the dice work nicely. These blue ones as well, the frosty looking dice, data cards. And then I've got this little pouch here, which has got some little stones in, and I use those for the command points. The books I've got for the army are the Space Marines Codex. So you've got to have this one, the core book, to go with all the Space Marines. And then I've got the Codex supplement for the Space Wolves. And I also picked this up quite cheap on eBay, Psychic Awakening Saga of the Beast. But it's all the models that are the best part of this, so let's have a look. We'll start from the left and we'll work our way across. I'll show you each unit so you can see them up close, talk a little bit about what they can do and how I painted them and things like that. So let's get started, and we'll begin on the left hand side with the Fenrisian Wolves. And I've also got these 6 Aether Wings that I've painted up, put them on the large bases, the same size as the Fenrisian Wolves, and then if my opponent's happy, I'll proxy these as wolves, and this all builds in to the whole theme of my army. My army's called the Stormcrows, and it's all around Niall Stormcaller, who you'll meet later on, and you also see how I tie that into the army. But here's the main Fenrisian Wolves, and I've also got this one here. And this is a Cyber Wolf, a great unit. You can have a unit of just one model, and it's 1 power, so very low on points. But you can see here the leg snap, so I've really got to fix that still with a wire. This snapped when I was painting it. It just didn't last very long at all. Not a great design, I must say, but still a great looking model. Once I fix it, it's going to be awesome. Then there's 10 Fenrisian Wolves, and I can have a pack of up to 15 of these and 1 Cyber Wolf I want, but I'm just going to go with either a pack of 10 or 5, mix it up like that. And don't forget, I've got these Aether Wings as well, so if I did want to do a big group of them, I could do it. But these are really great to paint, really fun, loads of texture on the models, and I've done videos for these and still doing painting videos for lots of the models in the army, and so you can watch a lot of those on the channel if you want to check it out. But my whole theme is to go for just a tabletop ready standard with all these models. So now we're heading back to the Thunderwolf Cavalry. These are fantastic. I've made this guy with the claws. I've given him a pair of claws, and I think that's really going to make him stand out as the leader of one of them. And as the leader, he gets 3 attacks, so that's really great. And then with those claws, he gets an extra attack as well. Now, all the others, I've given 1 Lightning Claw, and then I've given them 1 Storm Shield. So that Lightning Claw, great for that extra attack. And then the Storm Shield is going to give them a 4+ invulnerable save. One thing I love about the Space Wolves army is that they've got lots of characters, and here's one of them, Canis Wolfborn, and so I can use him as a proxy for a Wolf Lord as well. There's some differences on weapons and things, but that's fine. I could also use him as a regular cavalry as well, so Thunderwolf Cavalry, so that would definitely work. But you can see he's a little bit bigger than the others, so he's bigger than the regular Thunderwolf Cavalry, but he's got the same size base, so I think it's going to work. But fantastic model, fine cast again. This guy's got the Canis Wolf claws, and he's got the crushing teeth and claws to use of the wolf too. Next, we've got Logan Grimnar on Storm Rider. Logan Grimnar is the Great Wolf and High King of Fenris and one of the longest serving chapter masters. And this is a great looking model, completely crazy. You've got this floating, hovering sled, bit wobbly there, you can see on the base, but so cool. Just completely mad with the 2 wolves pulling it. I love it. And so this is a great model to have. 9 power, so pretty high there on the point value. But you can also use him just as regular Logan Grimnar, which brings him down to 8 power. But I think it's just fun to have the model because it just looks so cool on the tabletop. But with him, I magnetised his feet, and then I magnetised a little base, and so that can go on there, and you can use him on his own or with the Storm Rider then. So that's a nice touch. And so yeah, really cool model. He's pretty like heavy with that cloak that's coming out and like flying behind him when he's going along. But I think to have him as a main figure, he looks great, but perhaps not one of the best when you look at the abilities and what he can do on the table, but still a fun model to have and a fun model to play. That takes care of the wolf part of the army, so let's slide across and we'll start having a look at some of the infantry before we move on to the heavier weapons and the main characters. One thing I love about the army is you've got Bloodclaws, Grey Hunters and Wolfgard, and it's kind of a hierarchy of warriors. And here are the Wolfgard. These are like the older guys. They've been around a long time, and I've made all of them with different weapons because you can include a Wolfgard leader as a Wolfgard pack leader with Grey Hunters or with Bloodclaws. So I thought that would be cool. And this is the first one I've done, which is looking like He-Man. So I've made him to look like He-Man. I've done a painting video for that one. And then I've also got 5 of the Wolfgard, all with different weapons. This is my favourite one, the Power Fist. I've given him a combi melter there as well. And I just think the pose and just the attitude coming from this character is really cool. And you can see there's 3 marks on the right shoulder pad. That's the mark of the crow. And that's what every Space Wolf gets when they join the army. So that's the first one. He's like the Wolfgard pack leader, and then I've got 4 others, and I've done a nice mixture. We've got one with a pair of lightning claws, again going to get that bonus attack for each one. Then we've got the hammer and the shield, so that's a nice mix up. We've got the power axe here, the double-handed axe. He looks cool. And then I like the different hammers and axes and putting that throughout the army. Then we got this guy, got the sword, and then he's also going to have the storm shield. Again, that storm shield gives 4+ invulnerable save, and you can add 1 to armor saving throws for them as well. Now we're moving back and we've got Grey Hunters, and I've done this as 2 sets of 5. So we've got 2 5-man units, which could also be a 10-man unit, and each one has got a Grey Hunter pack leader with an axe, and then there's 4 regular Grey Hunters who've all got the Astartes chain swords as well as their bolt gun. You can see that the different units have got different colour hair. So our Wolfgard have got the grey hair. They've been around the longest. The Grey Hunters are kind of a blonde look. And then we go to the Bloodclaws and they got orange hair. So as they progress, their hair just gets greyer as they get older and more wise and battle hardened. So that's a cool thing I've done. And it also makes it easy to tell them apart on the battlefield. We've also got this guy who's got the Wolf Standard. Got 1 for each of the 5-man units. And so this is going to help by each time an advance roll or charge roll is made, you can re-roll any dice rolls of 1, so that's handy to have and cheap to put in as well. I wanted to have lots of flexibility with the army, and so I've put together 4 special weapons, and so these are all armed with different special weapons, and for every 5 models that a unit contains, one of the Grey Hunters can replace the bolt gun with a weapon from the special weapon list. And with these you can tell them apart from the wolf that's on the backpack, and then with the 4 weapons I've got lots of options if I want to put together many different lists. I've also given these guys all Mohicans just to make them stand out a little bit more. So we've got the grav gun you just saw, the melter gun, the plasma, and then finally the flamer. So 1 of each, and each unit can take 1, or if I go for a unit of 10 I can put 2 of those in that unit. Right, we've got another unit of infantry. This is the Bloodclaws. So these are the ones that come in first of all. They're full of rage, young and ready for battle. And these are all armed with chain swords and bolt pistols. My leader I gave a power fist. I thought that was cool. And then a plasma pistol. But the rest have all got the chain sword and bolt pistol. And you can have up to 14 Bloodclaws and 1 Bloodclaw leader in your pack, which is awesome because they can fit into the Storm Wolf. That holds a capacity of 16 Space Wolf infantry. So you can really get these up close as a big pack, jump out of the transport, mess up the enemy with those chain swords. Okay, now we're on to the characters and the main guys who lead the army, and here's the first one, Jarl Stormcaller, and this is my favourite model of them all. And then close second is Aryak Rockfist, who you see in a second, but this is the one that I really liked to have, and this is what really got me attracted to building this army. Jarl Stormcorner is the Psyker of the army, and he can use psychic powers from the Tempestus Discipline, which is included in the Space Wolves Codex supplement. So a great model, but this one's also awesome. This is Aryak Rockfist, another great one who I would substitute for as a leader for sure. So it's between these two really, they're my favourite ones. And this guy's got a hammer which is called Foe Hammer, which he can throw and it comes back to him. He can use it in melee, and he's also got the shield, the Anvil Shield, which gives him a 3+ invulnerable save. So this guy's really great. Then I made this one out of a Terminator captain, and I turned him into a Wolfgard battle leader, and so I just put a little Aether Wing on top of him as well, added some of the stuff from the leftovers from my Terminator squad and some other models from the army, and then put him together. Got some more characters here. There's only a couple I don't have, Crom Dragonglaze and Harold Deathwolf, but this one I do have, and it's Ragnar Blackmane, and this is the older model, so you can get the new Primaris one, which looks a lot better, but I just like the derpy nature of this character. It just looks so funny. He's got that old stance, and yeah, nice model. I got this not as a metal one, this is fine cast, but it's the same sculpt as the metal one, I believe. Then we got this guy, and this is Lucas the Trickster, and he's really good when you combo him with the Blood Claws. When you put him with the Blood Claws, he's got an aura ability that allows you to re-roll a hit roll, so that's really great when you're in that melee attack with so many, up to, 15, 16 Blood Claws. Now we're on to the Wolf Priest Ulrich the Slayer, and so if you wanted to have some kind of healer in the army, this is the guy that will do the job. And just another great character to have in the army. But this model is a priest, so he knows the Litany of Hate and 2 other litanies from the Litanies of Battle that are in the Codex Space Marines. Now we're on to the Wolfgard Terminators, and I've got 10 altogether that I'm looking at either putting together as one unit, but most of the time as 2 separate 5-man units. And with this one, I've armed them with the Lightning Claw and the Storm Shield. That's 4+ invulnerable save from the shield, and adding 1 to the armor saving rolls is really great, and the extra attack for them with that Lightning Claw is just awesome. And then this other set of 5 I've built as 5 different ones, because you can also include one of these in each of your Grey Hunter packs as well. So that's a really interesting part of the army that I like. So here we've got the Heavy Flamer, it's got the Power Fist and Chainsword there, and this might be one of my favourite Terminators. I think he looks really cool. Then this one's got the hammer and the shield again, so trying to get lots of storm shields in all over the army for those extra saves, and adding 1 to armor saving rolls as well. Then we got this guy who could make a good Wolfgard leader for the whole army, but he's got the claw and sword, so that's a strange combo that I wanted to try out, so I thought that'd be pretty fun. Then this one, double lightning claws. Again, that extra attack from each lightning claw is just so cool and just looks great. I mean, I'd be tempted to build all 5 like this, but I really wanted to include lots of shields in the army because I like the idea of that. And then this one, another good stance on the model with the axe and shield. He's kind of bracing himself behind it to absorb the attack. So really cool cloaks. Again, this could be a leader for the battle, for the whole army. So that's a good option too. So that's the Terminators. Now we're on to the Dreadnoughts, and these are all firstborn Dreadnoughts. The whole army's firstborn, so these look amazing, and they're all characters which I really liked, and this was something that really appealed to me. And let's get started with this guy, Bjorn the Fell-Handed. He's the most ancient of all Space Marines and last of the company of Russ, and Bjorn the Fell-Handed fought for millennia within the Dreadnought sarcophagus. He's so old that he even fought at the side of Layman Russ himself. So that's pretty cool. But what I've done with these is magnetise the arm so we can swap the weapons over. So he does have his own regular weapon, the Hellfrost Cannon, but now we can put all the different weapon options that come with it. And I used a regular Dreadnought kit that I had already, and so I've made use of all the weapons, added some of the little bits to make it more Space Wolfy, and now I've got full access to all the different weapons that you can use on the data sheet. So just pop it on and that works really well. For the weapon he's got, the True Claw, the melee weapon, that doesn't come off, so that's fixed. But it's great to have all these options because I think it's just fun when you do little games, you can mix the list up and try out different things. So this is the first one of the 3 Terminators in the army, Bjorn the Fell-Handed. Next is the Wolfen Dreadnought, and this guy comes with a Fenrising Great Axe, Great Wolfclaw, Storm Bolter as well, and you can also add the Blizzard Shield, which will give a 4+ invulnerable save. So I've done that. I've put the shield on there, and even if you don't include it as war gear, I think you could get away with it being on there. It just looks so cool. It's got the flamer underneath, and again, you can take that arm off for the axe and replace it with another weapon if you wanted to, but I wouldn't. I would just keep it like this. I think it looks awesome. It's just so cool. Now on to probably the best named Terminator ever, Murder Fang. This guy's mental, no options to swap the weapons over here. I'm keeping him as he is, and you can see he's got the murder claws, which are just crazy good. He's got a ton of ability, 6 altogether, and so there's lots going on with this character, not just in looks, but in what he can do on the battlefield. So this is certainly one that's great to play around with and try out different combinations with as well. So having these Dreadnoughts all as characters, I think, is so fun. Actually, correct that, the Wolfen Dreadnought isn't a character. Right, now let's look at some of the vehicles, and here's some that I've got. So I didn't want to go too vehicle heavy with this. I wanted it to be all about wolves and charging in, but once I'd built the army, I loved the vehicles, so I grabbed this, the Land Raider, and this is a fantastic model. It's huge, it's got some awesome weapons, and I just think it looks so cool. I built this as the Land Raider Redeemer because I really like the idea of the Flamestorm cannons, and so I wanted to include those, and also that twin assault cannon on the front's great. It's got a mouth there, and we've made this talk a lot, me and my boy, which is really funny. And then you've also got the melter gun on top, or twin melter gun on top, so that's really cool. So as far as vehicle goes, this is just great, but it can also hold 12 infantry models as well, so you can get a load of those blood cores in really close, so that's great. You can even put Terminators in there, but they take up the space of 2 models each, but you can still get 6 in there, so that's pretty cool. Next up is a smaller tank, the Predator Annihilator, and I've magnetised it so I can also use it as a Predator Destructor, and that was important to have lots of options to change it all up how I liked. So that does fit in there, just comes loose a little bit. So there we go. So this is a great model. Had this a little while actually, and I didn't plan to build it as the Space Wolf one. I just got it because it looked good, but I love it now, and now it fits in with the army really well. And then there's all different things. Then we've got the Hunter Killer Missile. I fixed this one on, so that's glued on there. But you can see with the las cannons, the twin las cannons there, they can pop off. So they've just been magnetised. So you just take them off really easy. It's got a little magnet there. And then you can put on the other weapon from the Predator Destructor. So you can use the Predator autocannon now. So that works nicely. Having those 2 options again is great. And then the weapons on the sides you can replace too. So I like it because you can just try out different lists and just see what it can do with different combinations on the table. Now we've got a Razorback, and this was the biggest surprise for me when I built the army. I love this model. I think it looked really cool. It's so old, and I just thought it would just be a clunky brick on the table, which I suppose it is. But I love it. I think it's fantastic. I painted it inside. The back door opens. It holds a load of miniatures to take them into battle. Really great. And then I've also built it so it's magnetised. You can take the missile off once you've shot it, or if you don't want to include it, don't put it on there. And then all these come off, so you can close the hatches if you want to. I left the front spikes on there because it just fits in with the army, but you can take the back gun off, and then you can use it as a regular rhino. So again, having that one vehicle that I can have 2 different options for is really great. And so again, for doing different lists, this is fantastic. The Razorback's great though, I really like it, and I just like the look of it with that weapon on the top. Can't hold as many miniatures when you've got it as a Razorback, but for my 2 5-man Grey Hunter squads, I can put 1 in each, so that works out really nicely. And so yeah, there's the other one, and you can swap and change the both of them to have them as Razorbacks or Rhinos. Now we've got the Flyer for the army, and this is built at the moment as a Storm Wolf, and so this can take 16 Space Wolves infantry into battle, and you can also include jump packs, Wolfen or Terminator, but they'll take the space of 2 infantry. And so I've painted this up. I do think I need to add a bit more yellow, also some decals as well. Yeah, I just think it's a bit bland. Needs to be yellow there, I think. So I'll probably go back and do that at some point. But a great model. I've had my eye on this for a long time, so it was so cool to get it. And what I've done is I've magnetised the whole thing, so I can build it as either the Storm Wolf that you can see here, or I can get all these other parts and put it together as the Stormfang gunship. This took ages to magnetise this and just suss it out, especially the door at the front. But you can basically just take it off. There's one magnet holding that on. That bit comes out to reveal the awesome weapon there, which is the Hellfrost Destructor. and then you can put the other door on there, and so it does fit. It just takes a little bit of wiggling around to line up the magnet and then get that nice seal around the door. We'll get there in a second. There we go. So that shuts really nicely. Put the front of the cannon on there. Brilliant. And then you've got little pieces that you can put over it. Nope, that's the back bit. Let's put it back to the back. That goes over there. And these have just got tiny, tiny magnets, these little bits, but they're strong enough to hold it in place. Then I've got one other piece, which I'm looking for now, which is just going to go over the front. And here it is. So we'll just pop that on there. And then that's the front of the Hellfrost Destructor ready. Then I can take that off the back, that weapon there, and I can put this piece on. And I've just used some sprues, glued it in place, and then that locks in there, and that's in nice and tight without any magnets. And then for all the other weapons, they all come out as well. So I've got the different missiles and things here, different bolt guns, so you can just literally pop out the ones on the side and then replace them. And yeah, you find that happens a lot. The magnets stick to each other, but they come out really easy. And also these little las cannons can come out and you can replace them with missiles. So one gunship can be turned into the Stormwolf or the Stormfang gunship. So that's really great. But if you do take it as the Stormfang gunship, this variation, you can only take 6 infantry models on board. I've got some other kits I bought that I'm going to use, and this is the first one. Now, it's not from the Space Wolves. This is Asterath the Grim, and he's from the Blood Angels. But I've got him because I think he'll make a fantastic Skyclaw pack leader. And so the Skyclaws, you can get the jump packs for them, but I really wanted something a lot different. So I also picked up these Blood Angel Sanguinary Guard, and I'm going to use parts that I've got left over from the Space Wolves and then these to put together some Space Wolf looking characters, but with black crow wings. And so I think this will be a really nice twist on these models. So a little bit kit bashing to do on there. They'll have regular Space Wolf heads, but that's going to make an awesome set of 6 Skyclaws. I also thought it'd be fun to put together some scouts, and now these aren't going to be great in a Space Wolf army, but I've always loved the look of these scout with sniper rifles. So I'm going to do a little unit of snipers and just play them under the rules that come in the regular Space Marines, but attach them in there. So that'll work nicely. It'll look cool once I do the different heads for the Space Wolves again and add some little bits to them. I think they'll be a fun little unit, and I might play them in Kill Team as well. So that's an option I can do with it. So there we go, there's my Space Wolf army. There's a good 3,500 points here if you wanted it to be with extra weapons and everything, and especially with these extra ones that I've added into there with the Skyclaws and the Land Raider. But a great army to like build and experiment with, and I just love all the main characters. I love the lore behind it, and just, yeah, real fun. I'll do a separate video soon where I go through the terrain I've got for them, because I've got some specific terrain and a map as well, so I want to go through that at a later date. But it's great to have all like little things like the dice and the data cards. That really adds to it. You've got to have the codex and codex supplement if you're having a big army. I think it's worth paying out for. And then once I've built these, that's pretty much all I'm going to do with this army. I'm not going to go any further with it. I think I've got enough of these and I've covered most of the units I want to. Might do some long fangs maybe, but after this I'm going to focus on a Catachan army on a big scale like this, so I can't wait to do that. But the Space Wolves are awesome, loads of characters, great lore, some cool vehicles that fit in, but having all those wolves attacking and their own dedicated flyer I think is just fantastic. When I'm not using this army, I usually store it back in the Fang. I can either put it at the front here, all on display, or in the back there's little compartments for each unit. But I've also got a Feldherr Maxi Plus bag, which I did a review of, and thanks to Feldherr for sending that out to me, because I can fit most of this army in that bag. So that's a great video if you're looking for something for your Space Wolves. If you're interested in picking up some Space Wolves, I'll put some links to Element Games and Wayland Games down in the description below, and you'll also be supporting the channel if you buy through those links, as I get a small commission for any sale made. So that really helps out and I appreciate it so much. So thanks in advance if you do decide to click through those links. If you'd like to see the full 3,000 point army build challenge I did, then I've done 30 videos, and it was a behind the scenes look, building up, going through everything from intro and planning to unboxing, building, painting, going through different abilities and everything to do with Space Wolf. So if you're a Space Wolf fan, that could be something you'd really enjoy. I hope you enjoyed the video. It was great fun building this army, and I'm still having fun adding units to it and thinking about different army lists to put together, and really having a great time learning how to play Warhammer 40,000 properly as well. It's a great army, the Space Wolves, loads of character, lots of individual models that have got some great abilities, and yeah, really fun to build, but excellent fun to play with. But thanks again for watching. If you liked the video, please hit the like button, subscribe for more videos like this, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to join me next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'd like to say a huge thank you to my Patreon supporters who make these daily videos possible, and if you're interested in joining the community, it'd be awesome to see you there, and I'll put a link for that in the description down below.